The top 10 mistakes made by most CrossFitters. Cardio, flexibility, agility, muscle strengthening. CrossFit works everything. Very intense, the discipline can be traumatic if you don't pay attention to some basic rules. Your coach reminds you of the mistakes to avoid in CrossFit so that you can start safely. It is the ultimate sport for those who want to build muscle, challenge themselves and let off steam. Created in the United States, CrossFit mixes several activities such as gymnastics, athletics and weightlifting for a varied and very intense training. A 1-hour session consists of a multitude of exercises performed with the help of dumbbells, pull-up bars, ropes or without accessories. Renowned for its effectiveness in burning a maximum of calories, the discipline is attracting more and more beginners, but there are certain mistakes to be avoided in order to start without risk of injury. Take a room at random. CrossFit is practiced in a box. These minimalist rooms with all the necessary equipment for the day's training or the workout of the day, WOD for the regulars. The choice of the box is essential for the good practice of the discipline, because one of the particularities of CrossFit is the attention given to each participant. The movements being intense and very technical, the beginner must be followed closely. The trainer must be pedagogical and adapt the exercise to the level of each participant without pushing them all to overachieve. Some boxes train with 30 people when there should be a maximum of 20. The coach cannot accompany everyone in such conditions. To make sure you choose the right place, do your trial session at the time you plan to do your weekly workouts to see how many people will show up. Ask participants about the quality of instruction and the atmosphere of the group. Don't just ask the more experienced participants, but also the beginners, as they have different expectations in terms of coaching. Wanting to go too fast. When you start CrossFit, you should start with light loads. The main mistake to avoid in CrossFit is to want to do heavy work from the beginning. Driven by the competitive atmosphere of the group, the beginner risks doing too much, too fast, lifting too heavy, from the very first sessions, which is how injuries happen. This is one of the mistakes to avoid in CrossFit. It's better to do fewer reps, but do them well. If the workout of the day, WOD is 80 squats and then 80 push-ups, it's better to do 40 correctly than 80 without technique. If you've already done 70 reps and there's 10 seconds left before the end of the time limit to do the 80, you shouldn't try to speed up to do them all. By going too fast, and with the help of fatigue, we will hurt ourselves. We can have the impression to do the movement well whereas we compensate by the back. This can lead to a muscle strain or tendinitis the next day. On this channel, we approach health from a global point of view, by working on the 4 pillars of health: diet, physical activity, mental health and sleep. If you are not yet a subscriber to the YouTube channel, Top Fitness Health, consider subscribing, and if you want to be notified when a new video is released, consider activating the little bell. 1. Not warming up properly. Every workout should start with a warm-up phase of at least 30 minutes. For example, Telena's warm-up routine is as follows. She starts with 5 to 10 minutes of low-intensity cardio, then follows up with foam rolling, some leg swings, lunges and a specific warm-up for the rotator cuff. Inspired by the gymnastics classes she took in her youth, Telena Fortunata's warm-up program is sure to help you get your sessions off to a good start. In addition, it is advisable to vary the exercises during this preliminary phase so that you can maintain this habit and take the time to warm up before a workout without getting bored. Finally, keep in mind that it is better to do it rigorously, consistently and properly. If you skip your warm-ups, you will be forced to spend a lot more time on them in case of injury. 2. Follow a paleo diet to the letter. If you are an amateur CrossFitter and do this sport for fun, following a paleo lifestyle is nutritionally adequate as well as a good way to maintain your longevity. However, if you are a competitive athlete and train intensely for more than an hour a day, your main source of energy is carbohydrates, an essential nutrient that a paleo diet simply does not provide in sufficient quantities. Of course, we are not here to encourage you to abandon your paleo diet and gorge yourself on pasta, bread or sugar. That would just be an inflammatory insulin bomb. But it is necessary, especially if your training is at its peak, to look for sources of carbohydrates in plants, foods or small seeds that you will add to your diet and that will remain in the logic of paleo. Note that during a small survey at the Games, the athletes present were asked if they were following a paleo diet, and not one raised their hand. 3. Sacrifice technique and movement efficiency for the sake of intensity. Of course, the results in CrossFit are due to the intensity of the workouts, but this should not rhyme with lack of rigor and technicality. For example, if you are bending your back during the workout or pushing yourself too hard during snatches, it's time to leave the bar on the floor until you can master all the steps of the movement and perform it efficiently. Your back and joints will thank you later. Also, if you can't do the reps because of pain or discomfort due to lack of mobility, take the time to rest and improve. Otherwise, you'll be completely stuck and won't be able to do any more sets in competitions. 4. Volume for volume's sake. Training intensively by increasing the volume of work for no specific reason is the worst mistake you can make. Indeed, doing more is not always better. This mentality can lead some CrossFitters to perform multiple hero-type workout of the day, WOD in one day, thinking that by doing more they will gain strength and endurance. Unfortunately, by doing all those laborious reps without a predetermined goal, they are only demolishing their physical, and sometimes mental, abilities and hindering long-term sustainable progression. Have a clear goal. For example, studying the energy system and muscle groups you are targeting during a workout will allow you to work intelligently and efficiently without wasting all your abilities. Again, your body will thank you later. 5. Multiply workout programs, jump from one program to another. This is the case of the CrossFitter who decides what he is going to do when he arrives at the box, or the one who saw a good workout of the day, WOD, on a website the day before and would like to try it. It's also the case of the CrossFitter who doesn't have a precise training program and who jumps between workout of the day, WOD, without having a vision or a goal. Sure, blogs, specialty sites, and other social media pages offer workout of the day, WOD, and ideas to guide you in designing and improving your training program, but that is no substitute for well thought out and personalized planning. If you switch from one program to another, weekly or even daily, your progress will be completely short-circuited. Not to mention that you will be tempted to adopt the exercises that seem feasible or that you have already mastered without properly addressing your weaknesses. 6. Follow a schedule that doesn't make sense. The body adapts to loads by responding with muscle hypertrophy. There are numerous studies that show the best maximum load percentages, reps and frequencies to produce optimal gains. These studies have resulted in strength progression charts, squat cycles, etc. If you jump from program to program, progress is completely short-circuited. You can of course invent a strength cycle and use yourself as a guinea pig. Or you can find a reliable plan that you can just follow. Ask your coach. 7. Forgetting to complete your program with the basics, strict strength and additional work. Just because you're doing almost any CrossFit movement doesn't mean you should forget the basics. Working on strict strength with equipment like dumbbells can do wonders for strength on your throws or endurance on kipping handstand push-ups, for example. Sometimes to do a complex movement better, you need better core strength. Think about the importance of hollow position in kipping in general and you'll see why you need to work on hollow rocks to do almost any gymnastic movement. Basic skills and strict strength are also used for additional work you can do outside of class, which can be a great way to treat muscle imbalances, for example. 8. Wait 90 minutes before refueling with protein after exercise. The fact is, most CrossFitters don't need post-workout protein shakers. If you're just doing CrossFit as part of a healthy lifestyle or trying to drop body fat, a meal of lean protein, nutrient-rich carbs, vegetables, and healthy fats is best post-workout. However, if you are doing CrossFit as a competitive athlete and performing multiple grueling workouts, multiple times a week or multiple times a day, your post-workout nutrition becomes critical to your success. While this is a very individualized thing, there are a few constants. The first being that you need more carbs than protein after each session. Protein combined with carbs is essential immediately after a workout. It's just a matter of how much for each individual. The priority is timing. Make sure you take the shaker immediately after the workout of the day, WOD, to replenish your glycogen stores and promote protein synthesis. About an hour after drinking the shaker, you should eat a meal consisting of lean protein and carbohydrates. A good example would be grilled chicken and a sweet potato. Again, protein and carbohydrate amounts are extremely individualized. Each athlete must find their ideal ratio. Get help from a professional. 9. Shorten your sleep and skip rest days. What you do outside the box is almost as important as what you do in the box. Recovery capacity is key to seeing consistent gains in athletic performance. Growth hormone, GH, is an essential component. It allows the body to repair itself after intense exercise through muscle hypertrophy and plays an important role in maintaining lean body mass. Almost 50% of the growth hormone, GH, secretion occurs during the 3rd and 4th stages of sleep. If you regularly shorten your sleep, by 2 hours or more, you are no longer giving your body enough time to produce growth hormone, GH, and therefore you are not recovering as you should. Some of the effort you put into your squat cycle has been thwarted because you didn't get enough sleep. Another important aspect of recovery is to take the necessary rest days. Continuing to train at a certain level of fatigue or pain can actually be counterproductive in the long run. 10. Too much ego. Going into a CrossFit gym, you will not be the best. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and your performance relative to others will vary from day to day. One of the benefits of the CrossFit community is that there is no time or energy to train with ego. If you walk into a box with your ego ready to smash everything, you will probably hit a wall, a big wall. So focus on yourself and tell yourself that no matter what your result is, you gave it your all. If you are not yet a subscriber to the YouTube channel, Top Fitness Health, consider subscribing, and if you want to be notified when a new video is released, consider activating the little bell. See you soon for more videos. And until then, take care of yourself.